mate, and welcome along to the Invincible podcast with my man Lee Judges in the building. How you doing, man?
Oh, yes.
I'm glad you're right, because somebody told me you were ill.
Ill?
You were ill last week.
Yeah, no, listen, no one was ill at my barbecue, son. Like, you know what I mean?
I heard you got food poisoning.
Dare you say that, like, you know what I mean?
You got food poisoning, or it's either you or some of the people that
everybody had a good time. I'll tell you what, like, I actually messaged you and said, like, you know what I mean, barbecue successful, and you still had to have a dig about it, didn't you? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, everybody went home at me.
So it was just burgers and sausages.
I had burgers, sausages, little chickens on the skewers.
Yeah,
done all that, like, you know. Yeah, but like on
did you take my tip, which was like do it on a bit of foil first, close it down, do it on a bit of foil, then once it's sort of cooked through a bit, then you put it straight onto the pot.
I didn't do that. I just done it old school, like, you know.
Okay.
What I mean? And I'll tell you what, I went out there. Everybody was coming at 3 o'clock. I started it at 2. Got it all like
hot.
And then hot, and then done it perfect time and everything.
Mum enjoyed it.
Mum enjoyed it. Not too many burnt sausages. And I'll tell you what, like, there's a thing in Marks and Spencer's, right, called posh dogs. Have you ever heard of them?
No.
Right. If you are in the comments, let us know. They're the best things going, like, right? Because my mum's gone, I don't know if I like them, like, you know what I mean? I had to go and buy extras. Because they'd all gone, like, you know what I mean?
She was happy. She forgave you, you know.
Yeah, that was another thing, like, you know what I mean? Like, another thing, like, you know. But, like,
forgive you for getting her birthday.
She put it on the, like, Bill, like, who's mum's partner, Spurs fan, so he's at me anyway, like, you know what I mean? Says, I can't wait to show this to your mum, the podcast. Robbie's right, like, you know what I mean? I showed it at the barbecue, like, I'm a disgrace now, and I, like, for forgetting it, and I never actually did forget it. It's just you bringing it up, like, you know what I mean? You're devious, you are, like, you know what I mean? You're devious.
I had a good. I went Wimbledon, man.
Oh no, I see.
Wow, what, like,
I'm glad it rained. I hope you got wet.
Yeah, he's got a bad mind, man. It actually did rain. It rained for about the first half an hour, but I just got there anyway.
Yeah,
so I was just standing under cover with some really nice.
You go on a Sunday, didn't you?
Big up to there's a guy I met called Af. He's one of the officials there, Man United fan. Nice guy, man. So I stood under cover whilst I was waiting for my mate to turn up.
Who sorted you out?
A mate of mine. You know what I mean? And it was brilliant, man. We had hospitality. It was awesome, man.
I'll tell you, it's the best hospitality.
Yeah, saw Sabalenka, saw Alcaraz game, bit of the other one, you know what I mean? But we kind of in hospitality a lot. You know, it's brilliant, right? You know, every time you want to watch a game, you just like come out there, got these little golf carts, just take you to the.
Oh, it's just mate, yeah.
Take you to centre court.
Was you over in where the cricket was? The cricket pavilion?
Yeah, I think it's somewhere.
You go like across.
You go across somewhere,
yeah. It's the best thing, like.
In these little golf carts, you go in there, it's the treehouse, it's called. You just go in there, like food, drink, everything, and then you come back and then back
put
and
you
back
in the car.
And back. Oh, man, I was saying, And they've got all the seafood on the out and all that. Is that the one we went to? No, they bring it all round to you.
No, but it's like there's a counter of it all. Like they bring it to you, but it's all out like, so you can go and see it. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. It's brilliant. I had a brilliant day. Really enjoyed it. Met some loads of people there. It was brilliant. Right, I was trying to. Eze was there on the day I was there, so I was trying to find him, but every time I kept missing him. The guys go, Robbie, you just missed Eze. He went down there because I wanted to talk to him, man, and say to him, yo, make sure you come to Arsenal. And I tell you who else I saw coming out, and I have to say, right, he was funny, right? He was giving it to me, and this is why. You United fans. You United, not even the fans, the football team.
Be quiet at the moment, Man United fans.
Man United, right? I'll tell you, you've helped to ruin our summer by losing to Spurs. Yeah. You know what I saw? Maddison.
Oh, no.
Coming out of the ground, right? Coming out of the
he had a blazer and all that, didn't he?
Yeah, he had his blazer on that. Comes up all laughing and everything. Yeah, how you doing, Rob? How's it going? He goes, did you enjoy seeing us lift the trophy then for the Europa League and that? Yeah, Champions of Europe and all? I go, listen, man. It's about time you lifted something, innit? Let's be real. And he was giving it to me, man. But to be fair, he was a nice guy.
I'll tell you what, I've heard that he's
no, he was
I actually quite like it. I remember.
Yeah, he's a character.
When he was going to take a free kick and he was with all the away fans and he moved it out of the. Thing like now, we give it to him like.
So he's a character. He's a character. I was getting stick off of Maddison, but I had a great day. Really, really enjoyed it. But of course,
all the Arsenal players were there the following day.
Yeah. I saw Saka was there.
Trossard. Miles Lewis-Skelly was there.
Yeah, I can see why they all go, man. It's a really good day out. It's a great day out. If you've never been, and I don't know how
much that cost, that thing, but I reckon it's thousands.
A lot of money, man. A lot of money.
And, been fortunate to have it a couple of times, but
yeah, it's a great hospitality thing, man. It's loved it.
It's the best.
But we're back here now, and what I wanted to ask you is Nani Madueke, discuss.
Yeah, listen.
Should I say Nani? I said Noni, not Nani. Apologies. Nani Madueke, discuss. Tell me, what do you think about this? Could be the most controversial signing of all time. I cannot remember a signing that has caused as much controversy as this in the Arsenal fan base. Can you?
No. And listen, I understand all the stuff and all that. Like it's like the breaking news today. What Mikel Arteta said is unbelievable. Like that they're getting rid of the Forever the Arsenal song, aren't they? Like and they're bringing in the Liquidator to make all the Chelsea players feel comfortable. You know what I mean? Like apparently they're playing at the training grounds. You know what I mean? Like
that's what someone said to me the other day. We're going to come out to either the Liquidator or we're going to come out to Blue is the colour.
You know what I mean? Even like apparently the away kit's designed on the Chelsea.
Well, it's blue, isn't it?
Blue light. You know what I mean? So we're trying to make them feel happy.
Well, Nani Madueke.
I ain't got a problem with it.
5-year deal, personal terms agreed with him. 50 said to be what I heard was the initial offer.
That's what I've got right.
Is 40 million plus 10 million in add-ons. That brings it up to 50 million pounds. They're demanding at least 50 to 55 because they've seen Anthony Elanga's gone for 55 million. Kudus 55 million. They're saying right for us, 23 years of age. England international, we want the same. Now, where do you stand on this? There was even a hashtag yesterday trending saying no to Madueke. On my Transfer Daily show, I've done 2 polls. The first one was when we were first being linked to Madueke. I did that poll. Do you want Madueke at Arsenal? 87% said no. When it started the other day, he'd agreed personal terms and it's starting to look like we're going to get him, I thought, let me do another poll because it might have cooled down a bit. People might have sort of changed their mind a bit, stuff like that. The second poll, 95%. It gone up, said no. A minute ago, before we started the show, a guy came to deliver the parcel. You saw that guy, the postman, who delivered the parcel. What was the first thing he said? Why are we getting Madueke, Robbie? What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. And I literally, when I went to Wimbledon the other day, all the Chelsea fans coming up to me, laughing. You're taking Madueke, you're sorting our bills out again, cheers, but it's not gone down well at all. Where are you on it?
Listen, this is how I see it. Like, it's like, I get the signing for a backup for Saka and all that, like, but it comes in after what we've done, and that's the thing. Because we haven't got that striker over the line, and we're holding out for so many millions to get in and all that, and then we're prepared to give Chelsea all of that money again, it's and how I see it really, Rob, it's like on the same sort of thing as Fabio Vieira, he's done hardly anything for us. It's like Man United or Chelsea buying him for 60 million. You know what I mean? Like he's done that. You know what I mean? Like when you'd be lucky to get your money back for him. I think they paid 29 million for him. He's done nothing at Chelsea really. So why are we paying over? You know what I mean? Like it should be under that. And that's what I think it is. On top of that I haven't signed the striker. I haven't signed the wide player that we need as well.
Well, I think he's going to be it.
Well, I think he's going to be it. Yeah, and so you can understand why. Listen, my beef with all this is at the moment in time. Right, we're still here. By the way, we've got 1 more week to go before you lose yours and start calling out the Arsenal. 1 week, 10 days. Right. So this time next week, if it ain't done, we'll be calling them out. The striker should have been done, and it's not. And now you're spending 50 million on that, and you're quibbling over something to get what we really need. And also, and I think this is the thing that's what's getting me down, I don't know about other Arsenal fans, is that every single Arsenal fan that's got a season ticket has had their price of their season paid up, had to pay extra. And you're scrimping and saving on 5 million for Gyökeres. And you're prepared to spend 50 million of that on a player like another Chelsea player that's not cut the mustard at that. Now, it doesn't mean to say he's not a bad player and all that, like, and whatever. And we do need a backup for Saka, but come on. And you can understand, Rob, why everybody's going mad. Now, listen, I've seen it online, people slagging each other off, like, oh, if you don't support the Arsenal, do this and all that. Like, let's get it right. The club cannot continually taking the mickey out of you for 20 years. You know what I mean? Like, all of a sudden, like, you know, we was going through paying top prices, seeing all our players getting sold at the Emirates for one day, having, you know, like the holy grail of players, and then you're not getting the striker that you need, but you're bringing in £40 million. We paid over the odds for Havertz, if we'd be really honest about it. Like, you know, I think Havertz is a good player, but at the end of the day, well over the top on that. Now, at the end of the day, Chelsea are struggling for money, but you go to Porto, you fly over there and go, oh, when we're $5 million short, we'll come back home, and then and then you go to Stamford Bridge. And what's his name? Better or whatever his name is. Berta. He's pulling his pants down as he's going in there, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Undo your belt, Berta. He's undoing his belt as he's walking into these negotiations.
No, listen, hold on, wait.
No, he is.
Wait. On the Gyökeres one, I do think we'll get that deal done. Gyökeres has already said he definitely wants to come to Arsenal. He's not interested in going anywhere else. Remember, he's supposed to return back to training. He said, I'm not playing for Sporting anymore. I'm out, right? So when you think about negotiation-wise, Sporting, number one, if you go by what Victor Gyökeres is saying, they've been very... They've gone back on an agreement with him, right? All the talk was that they were going to be able to... This would be a deal that would get done for... with all the add-ons and everything, £60 million. They've now turned around and first of all, they were demanding it up to nearly 80 million. Now they're wanting 70 million. Arsenal offering around about 65. So actually, I don't really fully blame Berta to be saying, oh, hold on, we'll sit and wait. We know the player definitely wants to come, so we'll chill. It's what we're seeing here is negotiation. When you're then seeing it in, remember the two papers it's in. Two newspapers have reported this today, right? Both Portuguese, right? They would have been fed that story by Sporting that, yeah, well, you know what, we're pulling out then. And they ain't pulling out of nothing because they got nowhere to go. They're not going to be able to sell. They're not going to be able to. The guy don't want to go anywhere else. They've got a problem. So they're trying to squeeze as much as they can, and Arsenal are trying to get in for as less as they can, and they're going to meet somewhere in the middle, and the deal will get done. So that's my thing. Listen, unless it fails a medical or something like that, but I do believe that deal will get done, and I don't blame...
Before the tour?
Yes, I feel before the tour. Okay. And I don't... Famous last words. But I don't blame Berta for squeezing it, because why go and pay... It's like you're negotiating for a car. Why go and pay the maximum when you think you can get it for a little less?
I understand all of that.
If you then, after a while, see that they're not going to break whatsoever, then you're going to have to probably pay it or walk away or whatever. But I think it will get done. There'll be a compromise, right? Gyökeres, I'm excited about.
Yeah.
It's what we've spoken on this show many a times about who do you want, Gyökeres or Sesko. I said right from the beginning, I've been consistent with it. I want Gyökeres. Sesko's a good player, but for me, Gyökeres is proven.
I'm ready.
He's scored goals. He's ready to go now. I wanted goals. I'm happy that they're getting Victor Gyökeres. I'm cool with the signing of Norgard that was announced today.
Yeah.
Good replacement for Jorginho. If we didn't move quickly, he would have probably gone to Spurs because they could do with a holding midfielder. He used to play for Thomas Frank. I get why they moved so fast on that one. Good bit of business. It ain't costing much. Zubimendi, good signing. Announced this week. Very, very good signing. Kepa made sense. We both agreed on that.
Yeah.
Madueke, the reason why I have a problem with it is, on the one hand, it makes sense. We need a backup to Saka. But then, for that price, £50 million, not for me.
Not for me.
If it was 30 million or 35 million, I might be like, okay. But 50 million,
No.
Now they're saying, a lot of the rumours are saying that us buying Madueke won't affect us going to get Eze if we go to get Eze, right? So that's good news because I would love to see Eze come in at Arsenal. I think he's a player of real quality. He's a player that can really up things for us. So if that's true, I'm happy with that. But even so, I look at Madueke and I'm like, Madueke is going to be back up to Saka. Nwaneri came in last year and done a great job as a backup to Saka when he came in. So if we would have bought Madueke a year ago, before the emergence of Nwaneri, I would have completely got it. I'd have been like, we need a backup to Saka. Makes sense. Blah, blah, blah. But now I'm looking at it and thinking, right, they're looking at this like this is a guy that's going to be able to be dual positions. Back up to Saka, but then can also play on the left-hand side as well. So that shows me that I'm starting to think to myself now, they ain't going to buy a left winger. It's going to be Madueke, maybe Eze, and then that'll be it. So my thing is, why blow all that budget on Madueke when you've got Nwaneri, you could back him up? Get Eze, he's going to be expensive. There's no way Palace are going to let him go on the cheap.
No.
And then with the money that you've got left now, go and get Rodrigo or another top quality left-hand sided winger because Madueke's not a left winger.
No.
He's a right winger. That's where he does all his best work on the right-hand side. Yeah, he can play on the left, but, is Madueke better than Martinelli? In my books, no. Is Madueke better and going to score as many goals as Trossard? No. Is Madueke a good backup for Saka? Yes. With 50 million for a backup? Unless...
And you're helping Chelsea out as well.
I would only be happy with that signing if... At the end of the window, we still got a left winger in, a quality left winger like a Rodrigo or someone of high quality. Eze, say, Gyökeres, Norgard, Zubimendi, the centre-back we're trying to get. If we get all of that, I've got no problem with Madueke. But what's winding people up right now is like you said, you're going all out to get Madueke. What about the left winger? Or is he the left winger then? It's a very, very controversial signing. It's a very, very unpopular signing. I don't agree with people abusing him. I don't agree with hashtags against players because he could be our player. And if he's our player, we've got to get behind him and I will get behind him. But it's just not, I just look at it and go, it makes no sense. It's not what we need right now. And it's going to be interesting, do they listen to fans? Should they listen to fans? That's number one. I've got a question for you, actually. Yeah, on that. And for everybody watching this and listening to this. Should Andrea Berta, the sporting director, Mikel Arteta, and the scouts who make the decisions to buy these players, should they listen to fans? So if there's a player that's looking like an unpopular signing, should they be listening to us? Or do they stand by what they believe in and do it? Because we've had similar thing before with Raya. Where when we were bringing in Raya, we were all like, why? We've got Aaron Ramsdale. He's a good keeper. We're spending 30 million on a keeper. Similarities to this Madueke thing, apart from he didn't come from Chelsea. Why do we need to go and outlay that? Use that money elsewhere. We were all saying it at the time. And they've actually been proved to be right because he's won, best goalkeeper. You could argue, one of the best goalkeepers in the league over the last 2 seasons. He's won prizes for the most clean sheets in 2 seasons in a row.
It's a great point. You know what I mean?
Did they listen to us or not on this one?
Well, listen, I think the club should listen to fans. Of course they should.
On this one, Madueke.
I think they should listen to them. But at the end of the day, if Arteta is convinced that this is the man that's going to take us to the title, then you've got to back it. If that's what he does. But if he doesn't take you to the title, then you know what I mean?
He's under pressure.
He's under more than pressure. He's gone. Simple as that, you know what I mean? Because you look at it, you're blowing half your budget on there. Really, how you could look at this and go, I think at the end of the day, Martinelli can play on the right as he has done on a few occasions.
Yeah.
Right, you know what I mean? As you say, Nwaneri can play there.
Havertz could play there.
Havertz could play there. Yeah, we don't know where is Havertz going to play.
He used to play on the right with Leverkusen.
Yeah, so he could fill in that role, and then like you could then use that money to get a Rodrigo, or even dare I say it, even a backup for Gyökeres, because at the moment our backup is Marino. And I've got
Havertz.
Well, you got Havertz,
Marino,
and then Marino,
and Jesus when he comes back.
Well, Jesus is not there at the moment, and I've got it under good authority that West Ham are looking to sign Marino as they're looking for a striker, like, you know what I mean? They haven't got one, like, you know what I mean? So they're looking at a £70 million deal for Marino, like, but we haven't got that. So I would actually say, like, that 40, 50 million, I would put that on a Watkins or someone like that instead of
that's a shout.
Someone like that we need. So this is where it comes down to a lot of fans are a little bit upset with that, and I get that, and I get there's other fans that want. There's a lot of fans out there that will back the club no matter what. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, they've put everybody's prices up and all that. That's all right, don't matter, like, you know what I mean? Burgers have gone up £1, chips have gone up 50p, like, but it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, anything, like, you can't criticise the club, right? But at the end of the day, the fans have got a voice now. Whether we like what we do, we've got a voice now. Where you go on social media, you've got a voice. And so that will get back to Arsenal, like, where years ago it didn't. But the fact of the matter is, one thing you can't do is abuse anybody. You know what I mean? Like, it's a serious conversation. You know what I mean? It's about opinions. Someone will rate him, someone not.
But we're all here saying it's almost universal. I'll be honest with you. I've not found one fan.
I don't think there's any fan.
I've not found one fan who says to me, "Yeah, I'd love that."
Well, let's put it out there. What? Any fan can turn around and go that it's a great deal, because what we're just saying now, like,
right, so I've not found one, but should they be taking that into account?
Well, that really stands to them, isn't it?
Yeah, because
they know more than us.
A guy showed me a thing yesterday, right? You've seen this before as well, right? Newspaper article when Arsenal was bringing in Arsene Wenger. Universally, people were like, "Who the hell is this? We don't want him." As a guy who's Arsenal.
Was it Johan Cruyff and Terry Venables were the two?
Yeah.
Two, I think.
And we're bringing a guy over from Japan.
That no one knows.
Right, in the J League. He's managing the J League, right, to come and manage for Arsenal. What are you thinking? David Dean's even said it to me before. He's got like, but what he said is they'd done their research.
Yeah.
They'd done their research and they'd realised what the attributes of this guy were, what he's going to bring, and they were right. Just like the thing on the Raya. So I guess you're right. I guess they shouldn't listen to us, because I'm sure they would have done extensive homework on Noni Madueke. And let's give him his let's give him some credit for a minute.
Hold on a minute. So if they've done all that, so they've done that with Sterling as well, then, did they? Right? No, because, like, you can't go down that route.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day,
he was terrible.
They've made one mistake over there already.
Yeah.
Right.
But they would have done their research on it.
But yeah, they've done it. But at the end of the day,
that was Sterling, a loan, though.
It was a loan.
So they took a chance.
But now they're putting £50 million down on it. £50 million. That's how all of us that have had to have put in extra money for our season tickets. This is what you're doing, Mikel. This is the one.
The extra pound for your burger and chips.
This is your extra burger pound, 50p for your chips, and on top of your season ticket money, right? Plus your £40 went for the Emirates Cup twice, right? Which I'm not going to because of I'm under protest. Anyway, that's another story.
What?
I'm not going to them like
Why?
that. Well, I'm not. No, I'm not. I don't want to spend my money on them. I don't want to spend the money on that lot because.
What if we got Gyökeres and that in by then?
Well, I've made the decision.
Well, you ain't going?
No.
God, that would stop being like this, man.
No. It's somewhere along the line you've got to say enough's enough. Keep spending out all the time, Rob. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know how.
If someone rings you up on the day and says, "Yeah, Lee, I've got a box, mate. You fancy it?"
I ain't got to pay, have I?
That boycott lasted long, didn't it?
I ain't going. Like, I feel like, you know, look, other people should go and whatever, like, that don't go every you know, got a chance to go and see the players and everything. Like, anyway, that's another story. Well, what I'm saying is, this is a massive thing for Arteta. I honestly think, like, this one, there's a lot of fans that are out there that are complete. Whatever Arteta does, he can't do no wrong. And there's another set of fans, whatever he does, he can't do right. You know what I mean? That's it. There's the culture at Arsenal for whatever they got to be in or out. I'm not one of those, right? I'm you know, seeing how it goes and all that. But I'm telling you, if he goes and spends that 50 million on him and we don't compete like, and we end up doing what we're doing, I think I will have to say, no, enough's enough, Mikel. You know what I mean? Enough's enough. Big? Yeah. Because at the end of the day, I look at it and go, what? This is the question. I'd love to ask this in a press conference to him at this moment in time. I go to him, what gives you the right to think that you can? What makes you so special to think that you can win the league without a striker?
I mean, he's getting a striker. Sure.
Well, he hasn't got one yet.
You're getting him,
right?
They're going to get a striker
over the last 3 years. Right. So over the last 3 years, you haven't done that, right? Right. So
they're getting a
striker. So he's got the striker in, right? Fantastic. Then so we need a bet. Like, why isn't we not then getting over the line? What is going to get us over the line? Is it your tactics, or is it Gyökeres, or is it another player from Chelsea? That, you know what I mean? Like, and people are going to go, wow, I'm not so sure. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I honestly think that Mikel and Arsenal have got to get this transfer window spot on. And I don't care what anybody says, Rob. I'll be really honest with you. I think that number 9 should be in the door now. We went all through January without it. Like, it should be in there. It should have been a priority. And if you're haggling over 5 million,
comes in before the window, do you care about the 5
million?
Yeah,
I do because I want us on the when we run out Old Trafford, right? Yeah, but I want us ready.
Yeah, but I'm saying relax, man. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, there's a week to go until we.
This is what you said to me last week.
I said to you, I lose.
And you said to me the week before that. And you said to me on January the 1st.
Haven't got to it yet, though.
You said to me on January the 7th. And you told me on January the 14th. You told me on January the 21st. And you told me on January 28th.
We're not about
right?
January.
And now we're in the 10th of July. And I'm still waiting for this striker. And it's not here.
Be patient.
Oh, God, I can't have that word no more. I've been patient for 4 years, 20 years, 21 years. We've been going for, like, we haven't won the title. We're close, Rob, to winning the title.
The striker's coming.
And we're haggling over a few pennies here and there, penny pinching here and there on the ones that matter. And the ones that don't matter, I'm sorry, that don't matter, and I don't mean this nastily to Madueke and also to Norgard, straight through the door.
Yeah, but they're easier to do. Now, the Madueke one, I'm with you on that. The Norgard one's an easier deal to do, isn't it? It's like, you're talking like 10, 11 million pounds.
Well, I understand it. Hold on a minute, Rob. I understood that Arsenal bid £10 million, £11 million, and they said 15, right? And we went, yeah, all right. So Bert's trousers were pulled up, and then he goes like, and does it like. So there was 4 million difference between getting him over the line and all that, like, you know what I mean? Now, I hear what you're saying because like
we
Spurs...
bought Norgard for less than what they wanted.
No.
£11 million for Norgard plus some add-ons.
I think it turns out to be 15 million. Anyway, what I'm saying is, and we probably had to agree to that a little bit more because there could have been a chance that Spurs are coming in for. I don't know. But at the end of the day, we're bidding for the fella from Valencia. Like, we're well off on that as well. Well off on that.
No, but then what you're saying about, you see, you're contradicting yourself.
I'm not.
You are, because you're saying you don't want to see Berta shouldn't be getting his pants pulled down, right? That guy Mosquera, right? He's got 1 year left on his contract. Arsenal have gone in and said, right, we'll give you started off 11 million. That's negotiation. Then they've got 14. In the meantime, Valencia, they've tried to say, right, listen, we're going to
can't wait to get to the Emirates.
Want to get you on a new contract. He said, no, I want to go to Arsenal. I definitely want to go to Arsenal. Then they come back now when they realise they're not going to be able to keep him, and they turn around saying to Arsenal 20 million. Arsenal in a good position again. Got a player. One second, Lee. They've got a player that wants to come. Why would you just go and pay 20 million? Why pay? If it was down to you, if you would do the negotiations, you'd just be like,
no, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't.
You'd just be paying. You've got to negotiate.
For the striker, I would be. But you know why I would be? Because I think it's between. If you get that, you could possibly win the league. If you don't get that, you don't win the league.
If he comes in, if Gyökeres does come in before we go to Singapore, and we've saved 5 million, is that good business by Berta?
It doesn't affect me one bit, but that's what I'm saying. It affects me is
it does, right? Because
why? Why are they going to put my burger down a pound? Are they Eckers like?
No, but you want to see good players come.
Yeah, I want to see them come through, but I don't care if it's 4 million over.
What it might affect if you've got a few players, you spend the extra 5 million on Gyökeres, pay the extra 40 million, pay an extra 6 million on Mascara. Pay an extra 5 there, an extra this there, an extra. That could be, by the time you finish the window, you've paid like 30 million over the odds.
Yeah, and then you don't buy Madueke, do you?
January.
Save your money. Right, there you go.
Madueke went on.
You fell right into that.
No, hold on. But come January now, you need a player because a couple of players are injured, but because of PSR rules, you can't spend nothing. So he's doing right.
Listen, we've done well
on where I can't argue anything is the Madueke thing.
Yeah, it always come back to that, Rob. It will always come back to that. You know what I mean? Like, I can't wait to go to the Emirates and go, can I have a cheeseburger and chips, please? That's £20, £25. I'll give you £18 for it, like, you know what I mean? I'm not really that hungry, so I can wait. I can wait to see if you know what I mean? Like, no, it's £26. No, what about £19.50? At the end of the day, it's gone cold and gone. You know what I mean? Get the striker. Like, I'm going to say this now. I don't know how other fans are feeling and all that. Like, get the striker in. I'm relaxed. Do whatever you want to do after that.
All right. If you get the striker in, and it's just Madueke, you happy?
No, I'm not going to be happy. But I'm. Listen, we got what we want. We got the striker. No, I know what you're saying. No, I wouldn't be. We got to go. I'll tell you what. I'll put it this way. I would, if we can get Eze, Gyökeres and Madueke, I'll be. Like, we all want Rodrigo or whatever. Like, I'm happy to settle with that.
Even if we didn't get, and this is where again this is where I'll end up getting upset, right? The speed in which we're trying to get Madueke done, we should be trying to do that for Eze instead. Because to me, if we got Gyökeres and Eze, right, and we've got Zubamendi and all the other names I mentioned, if at the end of it we didn't get that left winger in, I'd still be pleased because I'd be like, 100%. We brought in a top quality striker in Gyökeres. We need a striker for ages. Eze's quality, he can play as an attacking midfield, he can play on the left as well. And we've still got Martinelli and maybe still have Trossard, right? I'm happy. We've improved the team. If we get Gyökeres and Madueke and don't get Eze and don't get Rodrigo, I'm not going to be happy. No. I'll be happy with Gyökeres, but I won't be. Because I'll be like, well, hold on, we've not
failed.
Yeah, because I'm like, so to me, get Eze first, or get Eze. Because to me, I'm worried, right? What worries me about this Madueke signing is that
it's going to mess up.
You've spent all that money on that.
Yeah.
Then now you go to Palace for Eze, because to me, Palace are not going to let Eze go on the cheap. They know what they've got. He's a very, very, very important player for them, right? So they don't want to sell him. They've got the Europa League to play for next year. I mean, listen, we don't know now whether they'll be playing in that, and they've still got to decide on that, but they got that to play in. He's their best player. They're not going to let him come to Arsenal on the cheap. No. So keep the money, unless they know they've got the money. The rumours are is that the signing of Madueke doesn't affect Eze, but it better not. Because to me, if they don't get Eze or Rodrigo, at the very least, on top of Gyökeres, I'm going to be upset. I'm going to be like, no, because you wasted 50 million over this side when you could have used that 50. I mean, his release clause is a 68 million pound.
Yeah.
So take that 50, put 18 on top, make that release clause. Then after that, if you've now used that up and you say, right, we ain't got enough to get Rodrigo, because that is an expensive deal. It's going to be at least 70 million.
It's going to happen.
And the wages are going to be humongous. That's the thing. I think that's a Madueke here. But the rumour is he'll still be on 50 grand a week wages if he comes to Arsenal, which is nothing for a club like Arsenal. But whereas Rodrigo is probably be like a 200 a week, right? So, but keep the money.
Yeah.
Get those big ones done first, and then later revisit Madueke. I don't get the...
Especially if you said he wants to come anyway. The end of the day for me now, listen, I get that there's no real priority as far as the signings go. When they come, like, you know what I mean? But I just think from what happened in January, what happened in get that striker in, and it just takes the pressure off everything.
I think we're going to get the striker though.
You keep saying that to me, like, you know what I mean? You said that to me last week.
Well, you saw.
What was all this like last Sunday? You was at Wimbledon. I don't know if you know when it all come out. We obviously saw the Zubimendi thing come out, and then everybody going mad. We signed Gyökeres, like, you know what I mean?
Well, they weren't saying we signed Gyökeres.
Well, they were. It's done. It's a done deal. We're advanced.
See, you're reading into things too. I'm wrong because what they were saying.
What does advanced mean then? Well, you're the transfer expert.
Advanced doesn't mean he's signed. What they said is basically, I'll tell you, Gyökeres' situation as it stands right now, as we're doing this show, he's agreed personal terms with Arsenal on a 5-year contract, right? So he's agreed to join Arsenal. Right? So that's stage one. Brilliant. Player wants to come. He's agreed the terms. That's not going to be an issue as long as he passes medical. That's the last stage of it, right? Now it's the club you've got to deal with. So Arsenal have gone to the club. They're in advanced talks. So in other words, it's not just ringing up the club and saying, yeah, how much? You know, it's like you're sitting down with them now and you're negotiating how much you're going to pay for that player. So that's the advanced talks. They're talking a lot on just thrashing out the fee, how much it's going to be.
So there's an acceptance it's going to happen.
Yeah, over how long it's going to be paid, the period of time and that. So that's what's happening now. But what you've got is, you've got a problem in that Sporting want as much money as they possibly can for him. And Arsenal want to get him for as little as they can, because their initial thoughts on it was that he was going to be available for about 60 million all in, until the president of Sporting said, no, I ain't got no gentleman's agreement and I want more. I want, you know what I mean? And now they're trying to thrash out and come to a deal. But I do think it will happen.
Okay.
It's just negotiation. That's what advanced.
Right, so that's
advanced. When it's not advanced, it's just like, you know, that's the early stages. You're starting to figure out what, you know, like say for instance with Rodrigo, they've probably held talks with his representatives to
nothing's agreed
to find out. You know what I mean? Would he come? What sort of price do you reckon it'd be? What sort of wages would he be looking for? That's the, you know. But when it's advanced like this, they've already got agreement from the player. They already know what wages they're going to have to pay him. He's already agreed. That's done. It's just now they're in big dialogue with the other club to sort out the fee.
And what happens if Porto...
Sporting, not Porto.
Sporting. What happens if Sporting hold firm on this?
Then the deal's off. If they can't come to an agreement with Sporting, then the deal's off and they move on to another target and that. But I think the problem...
end up with Jamie Vardy, is that what you're saying?
I think the problem that Sporting have got is this, right? Is that, as I said, the players already said to him, I ain't coming back. That really puts you in a spot when you've got a player like that. When a player says,
but legally he's got to.
Legally he has to, but when you know what it's like, once a player's almost like going on strike and saying, I'm going to Arsenal, I've agreed with it, you lot, I'm not coming back there. I don't care what you're doing, I'm not coming back. You're in danger of, you know, losing value on this player. If you got a player that really don't want to be there, almost going to throw his toys out the pram. What's the... You could keep him till January, say, for instance. His value could drop from the 60, 70.
Put the effort in, is he?
Yeah, it could drop from the 60, 70 because he's in dispute, not playing, this, that. Could drop from that 60, 70 that you wanted right down to 30. Then you've lost 30 million just because you tried to play hardball. So I think it will get done.
My worry of this is, I tell you, like, and I'm going to bring up a person that we don't really like, Harry Kane. Now, he was desperate to go to Manchester City, right? And let's be honest about it, you know what I mean? Harry Kane's a top professional, mate. Went on strike at Tottenham for a week. Still played for Tottenham that following season.
Yep.
And then went to Bayern Munich the following season.
I think this is a little different. Yeah, still went. And what happened?
But a year later, but not to Man City, not to
Man City. But if you actually check it right, they sold him in the end for 80-something million.
Well, more than like 100. They got what they wanted.
It was less than that.
Was it?
Whereas if he'd have gone the season before, they would have got more money. And we're talking about Harry Kane, who's already playing in the Premier League. It's a little bit different.
No, my point being,
already playing in the Premier League, already on big wages thing. He didn't go on strike. This guy, I think, is different for a team like Sporting. I think if you let a player like that then go on strike, he's not playing in the Premier League, stops playing, you could lose a big chunk of his value for just being stubborn. Let him go. If it's 4 or 5 million, work away in the middle somewhere, sort it out. You get your money, go. To me, listen, they've already lined up a striker to replace him. They've got this striker, I think his name's called Luis Suarez, actually. Plays for a team called Almeria. They're supposed to be signing him. He's the replacement. They know he's going.
Right. Okay,
I think it's going to happen. If it happens, I want it to happen before that pre-season, but I think it's going to happen.
Well, Mikel's even said he wants his striker.
Before pre-season?
Before pre-season. So they're actually in pre-season now, but I don't, this week...
Yeah, but he means before they go to...
Yeah, they're going on a tour, like, you know what I mean?
I think it will happen. And I think that'd be a great signing. But the Madueke one's just weird. It's just like...
No, if that
came late in... Do you know the other thing is about it's a lot of timing, right? Because it come late in the window. They've got Gyökeres, Eze. Fans are feeling so happy that they wouldn't even have... I don't think they'd have a big issue with this. They'd be like, all right.
Do you think it's a little bit of an issue because it's Chelsea as well?
Of course. And Sterling last year that we took off of Chelsea and has been a disaster. I don't personally... Someone was saying to me the other day, we got Havertz and he's been a flop. I go, no, he hasn't.
No, he's not been a flop, Havertz.
I don't think he's been a flop because actually, since we've got Havertz, we have been challenging for a league. The first season he come, we were just off. So he hasn't been a flop. But it's, again, you're giving Chelsea a load of money. And you're taking a player that's not... It's not Cole Palmer we're taking.
No, also with Chelsea.
I mean, where everybody would be like, yeah, we got Cole Palmer off them. It's Madueke. It's an underwhelming signing for a lot of money.
And Chelsea have got to get rid of players.
Yeah.
They've got to,
and we're helping them get rid of them.
We're helping them out. Not only helping them out, we're paying, I think, over the odds.
They went and bought that Gittins for £50 million, which I think they paid over the odds for that. But now that'll be cancelled out because they're going to sell Madueke, who actually thinks a better player than Gittins. Actually, it's really weird because a lot of Chelsea fans say, oh, yeah, you get... But actually... Gittins, not even an England international, and he costs the same amount of money as what they're selling
I'm not. But like, it could turn out to be.
It could turn out to be good, but it's just the timing of it and all that. Get the big ones first.
Yeah.
I don't want, because my fear is they're going to turn around and say we've got no money left to go and get like.
Well, no, if they do that, there'd be that,
and then it puts the player under pressure.
That will cause a big rift in the fan base if that's the case. If we can't get Eze or we can't get Gyökeres because we put the money.
Well, I think we get Gyökeres because I can't get Eze. Money's demands. Can't get Rodrigo. Money demands. But you bought in.
It's not going to work.
That's what my fear is. That's why I don't.
Listen, more fans will turn if things don't go right.
Could you see that happening though?
Yeah. Of course I can. That's why I think everybody's having a meltdown at the moment.
Yeah. I understand the meltdown.
Once that Gyökeres is like, it's like with the Zubimendi thing. Like, I weren't over and celebrating and all that. It was more relief. that we got him. It's good. When that Gyökeres, I'd be relieved, Rob. Thank God for that, like, you know what I mean? I won't be celebrating it, like, you know what I mean, and running around doing zooby-doo and things like that, like, with all of this stuff, like, you know what I mean? But it'd be out of relief. And I think because, you know, we've got such a history of messing things up, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. That's the thing, Rob, you know what I mean? Like, listen, we had all this sort of thing with Declan Rice 2 years ago when we knew that it was going to happen anyway. Like, so I'm not losing it at the moment on all those sort of things. But you know, I mean, you imagine if we'd have said like, we've got a chance of losing Declan Rice because we're signing Richarlison. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the place would have gone meltdown.
I think they should be doing this deal after. Get Eze, get Gyökeres, then go and do that.
Yeah, and do you know what? I think everybody will be a little bit cooler on it.
Yeah, get Gyökeres, Rodrigo, then go and do that. But if it's just going to be, you get Gyökeres, Madueke, we've got no money left. Ain't going to go down well.
No, ain't going to go down well.
But we will see what happens, right? We wait to see. Listen, the transfer window is still active, is still going on. Of course, just to remind everybody that we are going to be over there in Singapore and Hong Kong. Lee will be there also.
Yes, got the nod.
So we are looking forward to that. He's got the nod. We're looking forward to that. We are going to be out there. We'll be going to the games. We'll be interviewing fans over there. We'll be doing a watch long in the studio to it here as well. That's going to be a late one.
No, it ain't going to be a late one, is it? I think they're 12:30 kickoffs over here.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Because
it'll be an early one.
They're
right. That's right.
We're 7 hours in front.
Yeah. You're right. You're 100% right. So look out for that on the channel. And as I said, look out for us.
There won't be no one falling asleep on the sofas.
No, Laurie. Right. So look out for that. We will be there. And also, don't forget all the great content that we got coming out here. We keep you up to date with anything to do with transfers. It's a hot topic at the moment. So if you don't want to miss a thing, keep it locked here on AFTV. All the transfers, we will keep you up to date on. Lee, thank you very much.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it, love. Good therapy, that. Good therapy.
Right? Go and have a lie down.
Yeah,
right?
go have a lie down.
Hopefully, listen, I'm hoping and praying that by this time next week, Gyökeres is an Arsenal player.
Yeah.
Let's wait and see. The Invincible podcast. Myself, Robbie, and Lee Judges come together once a week to discuss all things Arsenal. Straight talking, considered discussion, brought to you by the fans of the only club in Football League history to go invincible.